Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's good to see you. It's good for you to see me. I can't see you. But anyway, today we're going to talk about how to build the best cleansing routine for your skin. Because washing your face is one of the most basic and fundamental aspects of a skincare routine. We all do it in some way or another. But if you do it right, it can make a huge difference to your skin's health and appearance, even if you don't change anything else in your routine. So we're going to get down into the details. Before we start, if you already know me pretty well from my Instagram or my book or my blog or whatever, please feel free to use the timestamps and just skip over the intro, the disclaimers, all of that, and just get to the sections that are new to you. If you're not really familiar with me, or if you're not really familiar with skincare yet, please watch the whole thing if you can. I promise I will try to make it fun, and I think you'll learn a lot. For those of you who don't know me, I'm 43 years old. I didn't get into skincare or know a thing about skincare until my early 30s, so I actually had a lot of early damage to reverse that I think I'm doing pretty well on. My skin type is normal. It's not too oily, it's not too dry, but because I use exfoliating actives and I use a really strong prescription tretinoin, I can speak a bit to sensitized skin, compromised skin barrier, dry skin, dehydrated skin. I don't have any particular allergies or sensitivities, so that's the perspective that I bring to skincare and where I'm coming from when I recommend skincare products. A few quick disclaimers. I'm going to be referring to my rotation of open cleansers to just demonstrate different things and to give some product recommendations. It might look insane to have as many open cleansers going as I do, so I want to make it really clear I am not telling you that you should have this many cleansers open. Most of us can get by with just one or two. I have this many cleansers open because I do this for a living. I am very, very in tune with minute changes to my skin condition and needs day by day because I do this for a living, and I have access to a lot of products because I do this for a living. I don't think everybody needs a different cleanser for every little mood change that their skin might go through. So just take these as different examples of things that can be used for different situations. I also want to point out that a lot of the products I talk about are going to be products that were provided to me by the brands. I will always put up a little text box that says PR when I show or talk about those products. It will also be noted in the description box so that you'll know which ones were given to me. And finally, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a nurse, I'm not a dermatologist. I am not going to diagnose or give any medical advice. Please take what I say as anecdote. Things that work for me that may work for you if you have similar skin or that you can try, but just know that nobody, especially on the internet, can promise you a cure or a solution or that any product will do any specific thing. Like, there's no guarantee. That's not where I'm coming from at all. I'm just showing you a path and showing you some ideas of things that you can try and some basic principles that you can use regardless of what products you end up using. So why is proper cleansing so important to the health and the appearance of your skin? Your skin is the largest organ of your body. It's made of living tissue, and for the purposes of skincare, we'll say that it serves two main functions. The first function is to hold moisture in. So the water in your skin and the lipids in your skin are what contribute to that really plump, firm, bouncy, juicy, healthy glow that we associate with skin that looks nice. The barrier also serves to hold bad things out. So things like irritants, contaminants, allergens, pollution, dirt, bacteria, all those things that we don't want in our skin that can compromise the way that it looks or it feels, or even in extreme cases, compromise our overall health. Your skin can hold those out when the barrier is healthy and intact. The way that we cleanse and the products that we use to cleanse our skin can have a massive effect on the health of your skin barrier. When we cleanse our skin too often or too harshly, we compromise that barrier. So what happens? Water escapes from your skin way faster than it should, which leaves it looking dull, dry, kind of crepey, dehydrated, just not as healthy. And external irritants, contaminants, microbes, etc. can get into your skin at a higher rate, which can lead to breakouts, flare-ups, reactions, all that bad stuff that we don't want to happen to our skin. So that's why choosing the right cleansers for our skin and following some cleanser best practices is really important to taking care of your skin. So we've established that cleansing too harshly or too often isn't good for our skin. Not cleansing enough or not cleansing thoroughly enough to get skin clean is also not good. So throughout our daily lives, we're always kind of encountering and picking up things like dirt, pollution, general contaminants, like bacteria, germs that are just kind of floating around in the air all around us. We are also always producing sebum, we may be sweating, we may have skincare that we put on the day before. If we don't cleanse our skin and get that stuff off at least once a day, that can lead to greater problems like breakouts, clogged pores, reactions from irritants that might not have bothered our skin if we got it off fast enough, different kinds of sensitivities. On the more alarmist note, we can even say that not cleansing our skin properly can lead to premature aging and skin damage because some of the substances that we encounter may be ones that can cause our bodies to produce free radicals, and free radicals lead to cellular and DNA damage, which can lead to early aging. So that's the most extreme example, but I think that you get the idea. So what we want to do is find a good balance between cleansing our skin thoroughly so that we're at least ending the day with a clean canvas. This is also really helpful if you use any other kind of targeted skincare, because if you're putting skincare on unclean skin, it's not going to work as well. It's not going to penetrate as well as if you put it on a nice clean canvas. Clean skin also just looks nicer. So in order to find that balance, I have found that the most helpful and effective method is the Asian skincare practice of double cleansing at night. So we will start there. Double cleansing is basically exactly what it sounds like, which is cleansing twice. Not with the same product both times. It's very specifically refers to cleansing first with an oil-based first cleanser. This is usually an emulsifying cleansing oil or balm. So the oil-based first cleanser does a great job of breaking up and lifting off things like makeup and sunscreen, even waterproof products, without being too drying or stripping or damaging the skin's barrier. So once we go in with the first cleanser, the oil-based cleanser, we would finish up with a water-based second cleanser, generally a gel or a foaming cleanser. If we use a gentle, we'll go into this more later, if we use a gentle second cleanser, we can then get the surface of the skin nice and clean, free of all your old sunscreen, all your old makeup, any kind of like dirt, pollution, old sebum that you want to cleanse off, without drying out your skin, without damaging your barriers, so that your skin can be really healthy and ready to both serve the functions that it has and to receive whatever targeted skincare you put on afterwards. So we're going to start with the oil-based first cleansers, and I'll show you how they work. Okay, I'm not doing this by my sink because my bathroom's lighting is really shitty and it's sort of hard to set up in there to record, so I'll just do it here with a little bowl of water. I put some waterproof eyeliner on the back of my hand. This is the kind of makeup that's like really, really hard to remove. And I'll show you with my current, like this is the cleansing oil that I use a lot. I've used this for years and years. The Hada Labo cleansing oil from Japan. So when we use an oil cleanser, we don't wet the skin first. You put it on dry skin, right on the makeup, the sunscreen, whatever, and then you spread it around. A quick tip, if you're kind of new to cleansing oils and cleansing balms, if you have really, really stubborn makeup that you want to remove, let it sit for like 30 seconds to a minute. Let it start getting in and cutting through the makeup. It will make it really, really easy to then just like massage it around, massage it off. So you can see that it like breaks it up really, really easily. And then you go in, it's emulsifying, so you go in with a little bit of water on your hand, rub it around some more, so the water and the oil will emulsify together, and then that will make it really, really easy to just rinse off. So I'm just gonna do this and make kind of a mess by my bed, but whatever. So I just rinse it off, it's all gone. Answering a question that I know some people will have, why not just use makeup wipes? Because I hate makeup wipes. So generally, when we use makeup wipes, we have to really like rub and scrub with them, right? Especially if you're using really stubborn makeup or sunscreen, it takes a lot of just like abrasion and manual labor to get the product off. Again, we don't want to be doing that to our skin a lot because that is damaging to the skin barrier. So I have found that cleansing oils and cleansing balms achieve the same effect without you having to rub and rub and rub at your skin with what's basically like a wet paper towel. So that's why. One final note about double cleansing and about oil cleansers in general before we get to like products that I love and that I really don't love. This isn't something that you would do every time you wash your face, especially if you wash your face twice a day. This is something that you would only do if you have sunscreen or makeup to remove in addition to just washing your face. So for most of us, that will be at the end of the day, like the evening cleanse. I guess if you work night shift or like you went out, you partied or something like that, then it would be a morning cleanse too. But my point is this isn't an every time thing. This is only when you have something to remove besides just normal dirt and sebum on your face. Like, for example, if I just wake up in the morning, I don't have makeup or sunscreen on, then I don't need a double cleanse. I just wash my face normally and go. If you're only wearing like really light, not waterproof makeup, if you're only wearing like really light, not waterproof sunscreen, you can get away with not double cleansing, at least not using an oil cleanser or a cleansing balm. You can try a micellar water. I like Curology's because I just get it in my box with my prescription and it's fine, like it works well. But in general, for most of us that do wear makeup and do wear sunscreen, we do want to get into the habit of double cleansing at the end of the day. Okay, so now we can get into the real fun stuff, which is talking about the products. So we have cleansing oils and we have cleansing balms. They are both oil-based and they serve the exact same function. There's not really one or the other type that's going to be inherently better. Cleansing balms are like a solid balm that will come in a jar. They're nice for traveling because they don't count as a liquid, but for performance, there are good ones and there are not good ones in both, so it really just kind of depends on what you want and what kind of texture you would enjoy more. Cleansing oils. I showed the Hada Labo cleansing oil, which is always going to be one of my all-time favorite cleansing oils. This is inexpensive. It's a Japanese drugstore brand. It has just the right consistency where it's not so thin that it's runny when you get it on your face. It's not so thick that it's hard to massage around, because one of the things about a lot of cleansing oils that I don't like is that they don't have enough slip. So as you rub them around, you kind of have to work on it. Feels like you're tugging and rubbing and pulling at your skin and causing irritation. I don't like that. This is very smooth, spreads out, massages around really evenly. It breaks up makeup and sunscreen really well, and then, really important, it emulsifies and rinses off easily. It doesn't leave a ton of residue behind. The other thing that I hate about a lot of cleansing oils and balms is when it's really hard to get them off. So you're just kind of left with this like oily makeup sludge on your face. This doesn't do that, so I like this as a budget pick. If you want something more luxurious, if that is something that would help motivate you to do your evening double cleanse more often, then I love this Sulwhasoo Gentle Cleansing Oil. So in terms of like consistency and performance, it is on par with the Hada Labo as far as like it works really well. It gets the job done, but it also happens to smell really beautiful. It feels really nice, like it has almost a satiny consistency as you massage it around. It's just a more fun, splurgy product. And that's part of my philosophy with skincare, is that if you need something that's a little bit more fun, even if practically it may not serve much more of a purpose than the more basic products, do what you have to do. If you can afford it, if you can add something to your routine that is an indulgence, but it's one that makes you happy and it's one that will get you to do your routine more, you go for it, because that's good. Okay, so then we have cleansing balms. Again, cleansing balms and cleansing oils, there's not really one that's better than the other. Sometimes I'm just in the mood for a balm, more so than an oil. I really like Elemis Pro-Collagen Cleansing Balm. I was surprised because I usually stick with Japanese and Korean skincare. Elemis is from the UK. So European cleansing balms and Korean cleansing balms are a little bit different in consistency. Korean cleansing balms like Banila Clean at Zero, which I'll talk about in a little bit, have a more firm, waxy consistency. They feel a little bit more dry to the touch, but when you apply them, they will melt into a nice oil and clean your face. European cleansing balms like the Elemis have a way more soft, like I'm trying not to spill it. Hopefully you can see. It's a more soft, like almost Vaseline-like consistency. Generally, I have found that European cleansing balms don't emulsify or rinse off as well. A lot of them you need to use a muslin cloth to get it off. So I was surprised that Elemis, even though it has that typical European cleansing balm consistency, actually does emulsify and rinse off really well. This is another kind of splurgy cleansing balm. So it's pretty pricey. However, if you really like the spa experience with like the scent of lavender and eucalyptus, if you feel that this would make you have more fun with your skincare routine, again, good stuff, and I do like it for its performance. Normally, for cleansing balms, I like Banila Clean at Zero. I don't have one in my stash right now, so I'm putting up a picture of that. The Clean at Zero is just like, that's the OG of cleansing balms. The one in the pink tub has great performance for me. It's always been able to remove even the most waterproof makeup that I could put on. It's inexpensive. You can get it in like a really big tub too if you use a lot, or if you just like to get bigger products. On the other hand, Clean at Zero Mandarin-C, which is kind of one of their newer releases, I hate it. I've had this tub for like a year, probably. I'm not even halfway through with it. I'm trying to make myself use it up, but I'm very rarely in the mood to suffer through it. I don't know what they did wrong with this. I mean, I know that they changed a lot of things about the formulation to make it vegan, I think, and what ended up happening was it is really draggy when you go to massage it around on your face. It doesn't break up the makeup or sunscreen easily. Like, you really have to rub and rub and rub. It doesn't really emulsify or rinse off well. It leaves that gross like makeup and sunscreen sludge on that you really have to like rub at it to get it off. So this is a no, and I'll put that in the description box as a reminder. Every other variety of Clean at Zero is good, in my opinion. This one is just not. So that is cleansing oils and cleansing balms. That's the first cleanse. And now we'll move on to our water-based cleansers, second cleanse. So now we can talk about water-based cleansers. So even if you don't double cleanse, even if you don't wear sunscreen ever, which shouldn't be the case, even if you don't wear makeup, most people will still need to wash their face, most typically with a water-based cleanser. So that's either a gel or a foaming cleanser. My most important criteria for deciding whether I'll even try a water-based cleanser is the pH. So pH is really important because the pH of a healthy acid mantle, which is like the very external layer of your skin barrier, is between 4.5 and 6. If you use a cleanser that is much higher than that, it can really severely weaken your barrier. It can really compromise it, and then the detergents in the cleanser can wash off too many of your skin's naturally occurring lipids. I started to notice when I switched to low pH cleansers how much healthier my skin is just as a whole. Way less prone to irritation, way less prone to blotchiness, way less prone to breakouts. My barrier became healthier without really adding anything else that supports skin barrier health. So I will die on this hill that low pH cleansers are better for the skin of the vast majority of people than very high pH soapy cleansers. So all of the cleansers that I'm going to show here are low pH. And we will start from the most gentle, and we'll go to the least gentle, because for more oily skin or for skin that picks up more dirt, you might want something stronger, so we'll start. The most gentle cleanser that I have around, and I really don't like it, is the Pacifica Vegan Ceramide Extra Gentle Face Wash. This was gifted to me by the brand. It is really gentle. It's good, I suppose, if you have an extremely sensitive skin or extremely sensitized skin from barrier damage. However, it doesn't really foam. So we don't need cleansers to foam in order to be effective, but I just feel better if it foams. That's just some like consumer brainwashing there. But it doesn't foam, and that would be fine if it did cleanse, but it's also really thin. It's hard to scrub it around with my fingers and feel like it's staying on my skin. It doesn't really cleanse very thoroughly at all. If your skin is super duper ultra mega sensitive, you might want to try it because it is that gentle, but I don't feel that it does a good job with cleansing. My next most gentle cleanser, which is still very, very gentle, but was one that I love, is Snails Kadi Cleanser. And this one I need to do an extra disclosure for because Holy Snails is owned by my good friend Shell. I actually work for them. I make their social media posts for them, so it's good for you guys to know that. Holy Snails was actually founded because Shell had made a product to specs that I really wanted, and I blogged about it, and it like gained a lot of demand, and now here we are. So Kadi Cleanser is another product that she specifically made to fit our specs of what we want. So it is low pH. It's pH 5.5, which is pretty optimal. We like foam. it foams up in the foaming pump to this like fluffy, fluffy pile of foam, which is really fun. And it's super gentle and softening. So there's a form of honey in this that stays on skin and leaves it soft after you rinse. This is one of my favorites. I'm gonna have to rinse my hand off because the bowl of water isn't enough. But Holy Snails Kadi Cleanser works really, really well for me. Next up, going slightly less gentle than the Holy Snails Kadi Cleanser in my experience, but still very gentle, is the 107 Chaga Jelly Low pH Cleanser. Another disclosure on this is that Chloe, the owner of 107, has become a good friend of mine. However, we did originally just meet because of the products and the brand, so it's just something that I want you guys to know. So this is a gel cleanser. It doesn't foam up a lot. In this case, it makes up for it by having really pretty thorough cleansing powers and a really nice texture, unlike the Pacifica cleanser that I showed. This is quite thick. It's this really fun jelly texture. It feels very, very slippery on skin. And I'll try to show you, it has really tiny green tea bits in it. So they're not so much that they would actually give you like a scrub effect, but they are enough to sweep away any loose dead skin cells that you might have about ready to come off on your face. I love this cleanser so much because when you massage it in, there's no resistance, there's no friction. It's so smooth, it's so slippery. So especially when my skin is feeling very contact sensitive, like if I've irritated it with too many actives or something like that, this is a really soothing way to get it clean. It does cleanse pretty thoroughly, like I wouldn't use it on makeup or anything like that, but on just like morning cleanse or after oil cleanser in the evening, I think it works really, really well for me. I've been using this for a few years also. I've gone through like tube after tube after tube of it, so I do love it. And again, it is a low pH, it's 5.5, so it's like Kadi Cleanser, pretty ideal. Now we're getting into the more deep cleansing face washes that I have that are still at a good pH. So I love the COSRX Advanced Snail Mucin Gel Cleanser. Like I said, most of the cleansers that are in my rotation that I'm using here are my greatest hits that I've used for a long time and just over and over really loved. I obviously have a huge love affair with the COSRX Snail line in general. I wouldn't get this to get the benefits of Snail. That's really just kind of for marketing purposes. There's not a lot in there. But as a cleanser, it manages to be like lower than 7 pH, which is good. The last time that I checked with my pH strips, I think it came out to about a 6. I don't find it stripping. I do find it more deeply cleansing than either the 107 or the Holy Snails cleansers that I also love. So this is something that I use when like it's been really hot, it's been really humid, I feel like very sweaty or sticky, or if I use like a very heavy moisturizer at night and I want to really make sure that I'm cleaning everything off in the morning, like all of the residue, I would go for this. And this is also a low foam gel cleanser. Like the 107, it has a lot in common with that cleanser. It's a really thick, smooth gel. So unlike the Pacifica one that I feel like I'm ripping on a lot more than I plan to, unlike the Pacifica one, the COSRX like holds its structure when you massage it over your face. It will foam up a little bit if you want it to. It's just not like super foamy. It holds its structure. When you massage it around, it doesn't feel like it's too thin. You don't start dragging on your skin. It has plenty of slip. Again, it cleans really, really well. I think that for more oily skin, or in skin that can take more cleansing, and if your taste just goes towards you want a more deep cleanse, this is a really good option. The final cleanser in my rotation is one of the ones that is newer to me and that I'm testing for the first time. I'm surprised about this. So this is the Pro-Collagen Double AHA and Aloe Vera Cleanser. I thought I would hate this because this brand sent me their whole line. It's a vitamin-C serum, a retinol product, a moisturizer, and this. I hated every one of the other products. I've talked about them on my Instagram. There's some reels there. I hate the brand's whole identity. Like, I find it really pretentious and kind of condescending. So I thought I would hate this face wash too, and I actually don't. It's not bad. It's a low pH cleanser. It foams up a little bit. I will actually foam it up in my hand and show you guys. So I got some of the cleanser here, and I'll just use some water and foam it up a little bit. So you can see it comes up with like a fairly thin, light, but like decent foam if you work on it in the water. It's really good for deep cleansing. shockingly, and it does leave my skin like very, very smooth and very fresh feeling. I do think it smells a little bit weird. Can't quite put my finger on what the smell is. It's almost like a little bit detergent-y, but not awful, but I do enjoy it, and I've been keeping it around for the times when I use a very heavy, like very hydrophobic cream at night because it is very thorough at cleansing it away. So that's an option to keep in mind. I haven't been using it for long enough to say that I would give it a full review, but I do like it and it does work well. Let's put it all together. I've given you a lot of different cleanser options for both steps of a double cleanse. How will you know when the cleansing routine that you're using is working well for you? After you wash your face, your skin should feel clean, right? You shouldn't feel dirt or oil or product residue on your face. You should feel fresh, but your skin also shouldn't feel dry. It shouldn't feel stripped. I think a lot of us are really used to washing our faces with pretty harsh products that can make our skin feel really tight after washing, and we just kind of think that's normal, or it's like squeaky clean and we think that's a good thing. It's not. Your skin should feel comfortable. It should feel soft. It shouldn't sting when you put other products on it. It shouldn't get red when you touch it. When your skin is in that calm, clean state, you know you found a good balance in your cleansing. So look for that when you're trying different cleansers. And finally, I've talked a lot about low pH cleansers and how important I think those are. If you don't have pH strips or anything like that to check the pH of a cleanser that you're looking at, I'm going to give you one trick that you can use to at least identify the harshest ones so that you can avoid them. Look at the ingredients list. If the cleanser contains lauric acid, stearic acid, or myristic acid high up in the ingredients list, and potassium hydroxide or sodium hydroxide, stay away, my opinion. So the reaction between fatty acids like lauric acid, stearic acid, and myristic acid with lye, like potassium hydroxide, also sodium hydroxide, creates what's called a true soap. True soaps are very caustic, they're very alkaline, the pH is really high. That cleansing product is probably going to foam up really beautifully. There's some really popular true soaps that people use as face cleansers, like the Senka Perfect Whip is one of them. It will probably foam up beautifully and it will be so harsh, it will be so stripping. I think the most damage that I've ever done to my skin barrier is from using products like that. That is one of the reasons that I stay away from high pH cleansers. So even if you don't have a pH strip or anything like that to test the pH of cleansers, you can at least look at the ingredients and stay away from the ones that are pretty much guaranteed to be really high. I hope that was helpful to you guys. I'm sure that I didn't go over everything that I could have, so please feel free to ask any questions in the comments. I will do my best to respond to them. If you like this, of course, please do the like and subscribe thing. I'm still growing over here. And if you're more of a reader than a video watcher, which I totally understand because I am too, if you want all this information and sort of my entire skincare routine building philosophy in one place to read, you can always get my book, Skincare for Your Soul. It's been out since 2021, and you can find it at Amazon, Barnes & Noble, whatever. You can read this, you can have it all in one place without having to watch videos and listen to me talk. So maybe some of you will like that better, and I will totally understand. So thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you. I'm having fun making these, and I hope you're having fun watching. Bye!